everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive.
Always a pleasure to be back.
This time, we're going to be tackling something that's honestly pretty mind-bending.
Yeah.
Quantum computing.
That's a big one.
It is a big one. You probably heard all the hype.
Definitely a lot of buzz.
About how it's going to be even bigger than AI.
Yeah, I know.
So we're here to kind of sort through all that and get to the heart of what really matters.
Sounds good.
We've got some really great sources lined up.
Yeah.
And by the end of this deep dive, you're going to have a really solid understanding of how quantum computing works, what kind of impact it could have,
Right.
and the challenges that it faces.
It's definitely a field that captures the imagination. And for a long time,
Yeah.
quantum computing was mainly theoretical.
Yeah.
But recent breakthroughs, like Google's Willow processor,
Right.
are making it clear that this technology is rapidly moving from the realm of science fiction into reality.
I was reading about that Willow processor, and it's kind of wild.
Yeah.
It apparently solved a problem in just a few minutes that would have taken a classical computer.
Billions of years.
Billions of years.
That's pretty wild.
That kind of speed is hard to even grasp. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's just back up for a second.
Sure.
Can you just help us understand what quantum computing actually is?
Yes.
What makes it so different from the computers we use every day?
The fundamental difference lies in how they process information.
Okay.
Your laptop, your phone, they all rely on bits. A bit is like a switch that can be either on or off, representing a 1 or a 0. Quantum computers use qubits,
Okay.
which operate according to the principles of quantum mechanics. This means a qubit can be in a state of 0, 1, or both simultaneously. It's a concept called superposition.
Okay, hold on. Both at the same time. How
Yeah.
does that even work?
It's definitely
It's like a light switch being both on and off at the same time.
It's definitely a departure from our everyday experience.
Yeah.
Think of it like a coin spinning in the air. Before it lands, it's not heads or tails. It's in a state that embodies both possibilities.
Okay.
That's the essence of superposition, the ability of a quantum system to exist in multiple states at once.
So these qubits
Yeah.
can be in multiple states at once. But how does that translate into actual computing power? Is it just that they can do multiple things at once?
It's more than just multitasking.
Okay.
The real power comes from another quantum phenomenon called entanglement.
Okay.
This is where two qubits become linked.
Okay.
The state of one qubit instantly influences the state of the other, no matter how far apart they are. This interconnectedness allows for a level of parallel processing that's impossible for classical computers.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So by harnessing these quantum properties, we can tap into like a whole new level of computational power. But how does that translate into real-world applications? Where could quantum computing really make a difference?
The potential applications are vast
Yeah.
and span numerous industries.
Yeah.
One area where quantum computing could have a huge impact is optimization.
Okay.
Imagine a logistics company
Right.
trying to figure out the most efficient delivery routes for hundreds of trucks across a vast network of cities. That's a massively complex problem with countless possible solutions. A quantum computer could sift through all those possibilities and pinpoint the absolute best solution in a fraction of the time it would take a classical computer.
It's like having a superpowered brain that can instantly analyze millions of scenarios and find the needle in the haystack. Are there other areas where this kind of optimization power would be useful?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Think about financial institutions managing complex investment portfolios,
Right.
or manufacturers optimizing their production processes.
Okay.
Quantum computing could help them make better decisions, allocate resources more efficiently, and ultimately become more competitive.
Right.
And it's not just about optimizing existing processes. Quantum computers could also lead to entirely new discoveries and breakthroughs in fields like medicine and materials science.
That's what I find so fascinating about quantum computing.
Yeah.
It's not just about doing things faster. It's about unlocking possibilities that we haven't even imagined yet.
Right.
I'm particularly interested in the potential impact on healthcare.
Yeah.
I mean, we've all seen incredible advancements in medical technology over the past few decades, but it feels like quantum computing could take things to a whole new level.
It certainly has the potential to revolutionize healthcare.
Yeah.
Imagine being able to simulate the behavior of molecules at an atomic level.
Okay.
This could lead to the development of entirely new drugs and therapies that are specifically targeted to an individual's genetic makeup.
So instead of the trial and error approach that's often used in drug development,
Right.
we could use quantum computers to design personalized treatments that are much more effective and have fewer side effects. That's incredible.
And the potential applications in materials science are equally exciting. Quantum computers could help us design new materials with specific properties like strength, durability, and conductivity.
Right.
This could lead to the development of everything from lighter and more efficient aircraft to more powerful batteries for electric vehicles.
Okay, this is all starting to sound a bit like science fiction,
Yeah.
but in a good way. But I'm curious about the timeline.
Yeah.
How long will it be before we see these kinds of quantum applications becoming a reality?
There are certainly varying opinions on the timeline.
I've heard everything from a few years to a few decades.
Yeah, and it's important to remember that this is a complex and rapidly evolving field.
Right.
Some experts believe that we're still 15 to 20 years away from seeing widespread adoption of quantum computing. Others are much more optimistic, pointing to the rapid pace of innovation and investment in the field.
It's like we're on the cusp of a new technological era, but we're not quite sure when the dam is going to break and flood the world with these quantum innovations.
Right, exactly.
But even in its early stages, quantum computing is already raising some important questions, especially about cybersecurity.
Right.
I was reading about how quantum computers could potentially crack the encryption methods that we rely on to protect our data. That's a bit unsettling.
That's a valid concern, and it's something that cybersecurity experts are taking very seriously.
Okay.
The ability of quantum computers to break certain types of encryption could pose a significant threat to data security.
Yeah.
That's why there's a lot of research and development focused on creating quantum-resistant encryption methods.
It's like a technological arms race.
Yes.
Where we're developing these incredible new capabilities, but we also need to stay ahead of the potential threats that those capabilities might create.
Exactly. And that's why organizations like the European Quantum Industry Consortium, QIC,
Okay.
are working hard to establish standards and best practices for the development and deployment of quantum technologies.
Yeah.
They're focused on fostering a responsible and secure ecosystem for quantum computing to thrive.
So it's not just about the science and the technology, it's also about building the infrastructure and the safeguards to ensure that this power is used ethically and responsibly.
Precisely. And that's where the conversation gets even more interesting.
Yeah.
We can delve into the ethical considerations and societal implications of quantum computing a bit later.
Okay.
But for now, let's continue exploring the potential applications and the challenges of building these incredible machines.
Yeah, I'm all for that. I'm already hooked, and I know our listeners are eager to hear more. Before we move on, though, there's one more example I wanted to bring up. I was reading an article by Alex Craddock, the CMO of Citi, and he had some fascinating thoughts about how quantum computing could revolutionize marketing. Specifically, he talked about the potential for hyper-personalization. Like, imagine billboards changing in real time based on your data.
That's a great example of how quantum computing could blur the lines between the physical and digital worlds. It's like having a conversation with your customers. That's constantly evolving and adapting based on their individual needs and preferences.
That's both exciting and a little bit creepy, right? Like, how much data do we really want companies to have about us? It definitely raises some important questions about privacy and the potential for manipulation.
Yeah, it certainly does.
Yeah.
And those are questions that we need to address as this technology continues to develop.
Well, on that note, I think we've covered a lot of ground in this first part of our quantum deep dive. We've explored the fundamental concepts of quantum computing, the potential applications across various industries, the timeline for its development, and even touched on the ethical considerations that come with such powerful technology.
And we've only just scratched the surface.
Yeah.
There's so much more to explore.
Exactly. So stay tuned for part 2 of our deep dive, where we'll delve deeper into the challenges and bottlenecks facing quantum computing and explore what the future might look like with both quantum and classical computing working side by side. You won't want to miss it.
It's going to be good.
Welcome back to the deep dive. In part 1, we got a glimpse of the incredible potential of quantum computing. It's pretty mind-blowing stuff. But like any groundbreaking technology, quantum computing faces its fair share of hurdles. It's not all smooth sailing on the road to a quantum future.
Okay.
So let's talk about those challenges. What are some of the biggest obstacles that are slowing down the development of quantum computing?
One of the most significant hurdles is the sheer difficulty of building these machines.
Okay.
Quantum computers are incredibly complex and require extremely precise conditions to operate.
Yeah.
It's like trying to build a house of cards in a windstorm.
Right.
The slightest disturbance can cause errors in the calculations.
So these quantum computers are kind of like delicate snowflakes.
Yeah.
They need a very specific environment to function properly.
That's a good analogy.
Yeah.
One of the key challenges is dealing with something called decoherence.
Okay.
Qubits, the building blocks of quantum computers, are extremely sensitive to their surroundings. Any kind of noise or interference from the environment can cause them to lose their quantum properties, leading to errors.
So it's like trying to have a conversation in a noisy room.
Right.
If there's too much background noise, it's hard to hear what the other person is saying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And to make matters even more challenging,
Yeah.
the hardware required for quantum computing is incredibly sophisticated and often requires specialized manufacturing processes and materials.
Okay.
For example, some quantum computers need to operate at extremely low temperatures,
Wow.
colder than outer space,
Really?
to minimize noise and maintain the stability of the qubits.
So it's not just about having brilliant scientists and engineers. We also need cutting-edge manufacturing facilities and a reliable supply chain for these specialized components.
Absolutely.
Wow.
And there's the challenge of power consumption.
Right.
Quantum computers require a significant amount of energy to operate, especially those that need to maintain extremely low temperatures.
Yeah.
This poses a challenge for scalability and cost-effectiveness.
It sounds like building and maintaining a quantum computer is a bit like launching a space mission. It requires a massive investment in resources, expertise, and infrastructure.
That's a good comparison.
Yeah.
And just like with space exploration, there's a certain level of risk involved.
Right.
There's no guarantee that every experiment will be successful or that every investment will pay off.
It's a high-stakes endeavor, but the potential rewards are enormous.
Yes.
But it's not just about the hardware, right?
No.
We also need the right software and algorithms to make these quantum computers work their magic.
That's right. Developing quantum algorithms is just as crucial as building the hardware.
Oh.
These algorithms are designed to exploit the unique properties of quantum mechanics to solve problems that are intractable for classical computers.
Yeah.
It's a whole new way of thinking about computation.
So it's not just about plugging in our existing software into a quantum computer
Right.
and expecting it to run 1,000,000 times faster.
Yeah.
We need entirely new ways of programming these machines.
Exactly.
Right?
It's a completely different paradigm.
Okay.
And just like with any new field of computing, it takes time to develop the tools, the languages, and the expertise to write effective quantum algorithms.
It sounds like we need a whole new generation of programmers
Yes.
who are fluent in the language of quantum mechanics.
That's right.
Wow.
There's a growing demand for quantum computing experts,
Yeah.
and universities and research institutions are scrambling to develop programs to train the next generation of quantum programmers, engineers, and scientists.
Wow. It's like we're back in the early days of the internet when everyone was trying to figure out how this new technology worked and how to harness its power. But even with all these challenges, there's a palpable sense of excitement in the field.
Absolutely. Despite the hurdles,
Yeah.
the progress being made in quantum computing is truly remarkable.
Yeah.
Companies like Google, IBM, and Microsoft are investing heavily in research and development. And we're seeing a growing number of startups emerging, each with their own unique approach to building and deploying quantum computers.
It's like the Wild West of computing,
Yeah.
with pioneers and prospectors staking their claims and trying to strike gold in this new quantum frontier.
That's a great analogy. And it's not just about the big players.
Right.
We're seeing a lot of collaboration and knowledge sharing within the quantum computing community.
Okay.
Universities, government labs, and private companies are working together to advance the field and overcome these challenges.
So it's a collective effort with everyone contributing their expertise and resources to push the boundaries of what's possible.
Exactly.
That's pretty amazing.
And that's what makes this field so exciting.
Yeah.
It's a global effort, with researchers and engineers from all over the world working together to unlock the potential of quantum computing.
Well, while we're waiting for these quantum computers to mature and become more widely available, there's another important question to consider. What happens to our trusty classical computers? Are they destined for the Museum of Technology, or do they still have a role to play in a quantum world?
That's a great question. It's important to remember that quantum computers are not meant to replace classical computers entirely.
Okay.
They're more like specialized tools that are designed to solve specific types of problems that are beyond the capabilities of classical computers.
So it's not a case of out with the old, in with the new?
Not at all.
Okay.
It's more about finding the right tool for the job.
Yeah.
There will always be tasks that are better suited for classical computers,
Right.
just as there will be tasks that are better suited for quantum computers.
Yeah.
The key is to understand the strengths of each type of computing and use them in a complementary way.
I see. It's like having a toolbox with a variety of tools. You wouldn't use a hammer to tighten a screw, just like you wouldn't use a quantum computer to write an email.
Exactly. The future likely involves hybrid architectures, where quantum processing units, or QPUs, work alongside central processing units, CPUs, and graphics processing units, GPUs.
Okay.
Different parts of a complex problem could be handled by the type of computer that's best suited for the task.
So it's not about one technology replacing the other, but rather about finding the optimal balance and leveraging the strengths of each to create a more powerful and efficient computing ecosystem.
Precisely. And that's why it's so crucial to invest in research and development, not just for quantum computing itself, but also for the interfaces and software that will enable this seamless integration.
It's like we're building a bridge between the classical computing world and the quantum computing world.
Exactly. We need to create a smooth transition so that we can take advantage of the unique capabilities of both types of computing.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground in this second part of our deep dive. We've explored the challenges of building quantum computers, the need for new algorithms and programming languages, the role of classical computers in a quantum world, and the importance of collaboration and knowledge sharing in advancing this groundbreaking technology.
And we still got more to explore.
That's right. Stay tuned for the final part of our quantum deep dive, where we'll delve into some of the more philosophical questions surrounding this technology and consider what a quantum-powered future might hold for humanity. Don't go away. Welcome back to the deep dive. We've spent the last two parts of this episode exploring the fascinating world of quantum computing. We've talked about the mind-boggling science behind it, the potential it has to transform industries, and the very real challenges researchers are tackling. But now I think it's time to step back and consider the bigger picture.
Yeah, it's important to think about the implications of this technology beyond just the technical aspects.
Right.
Quantum computing has the potential to reshape society in some really profound ways.
Yeah.
And it's crucial that we consider those implications carefully.
Absolutely. I mean, we're talking about a technology that could revolutionize everything from medicine to materials science to artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
It's exciting, but it also raises some big questions about how we manage such powerful tools.
Right.
For example, I keep thinking about the potential impact on the job market.
Yeah.
If quantum computers can automate complex tasks that currently require human expertise, what happens to those jobs?
That's a valid concern.
Yeah.
And it's something that policymakers and industry leaders need to address proactively.
Yeah.
As with any technological advancement, there's a potential for job displacement.
Right.
However, it's important to remember that history has shown that new technologies also create new opportunities and new industries.
That's true.
The key is to anticipate those shifts and invest in education and training programs that equip workers with the skills they need to thrive in a quantum-powered economy.
So it's not just about developing the technology itself. It's also about preparing society for the changes that come with it. It's about making sure that everyone benefits from these advancements, not just a select few.
Precisely. And that brings us to another important consideration. Access.
Right.
Who will have access to these powerful quantum computers?
Right.
Will it be limited to large corporations and governments, or will it be more widely available? Ensuring equitable access to this technology is crucial if we want to avoid exacerbating existing inequalities.
It's like the early days of the internet.
Yeah.
Initially, it was primarily accessible to universities and research institutions, but eventually it became democratized, and that's a big part of why it's had such a transformative impact on society.
Exactly. We need to learn from past experiences and make sure that quantum computing doesn't become another tool that widens the gap between the haves and the have-nots.
Yeah.
It's about fostering an environment where everyone has the opportunity to benefit from this incredible technology.
I think that's really important. It's clear that quantum computing presents us with both immense opportunities and complex challenges.
Absolutely.
As we move forward, it's crucial that we approach this technology with a sense of responsibility and foresight.
I agree. It's not just about what we can do with quantum computing.
Right.
It's about what we should do.
Yeah.
We need to engage in some thoughtful discussions about the ethical implications of this technology and develop guidelines that ensure its responsible development and deployment.
It's like we're standing at the edge of a new frontier, and we have a choice to make.
Yeah.
We can rush in blindly, focus solely on the potential rewards, or we can take a more measured approach, considering the risks and the potential consequences, and charting a course that leads to a better future for everyone.
That's a powerful way to put it.
Yeah.
Quantum computing is a tool, and like any tool, it can be used for good or for ill.
Right.
It's up to us to decide how we wield this power and shape the future we want to create.
Well said. As we wrap up this deep dive into the world of quantum computing, I'm left with a sense of wonder and a healthy dose of caution.
Yeah.
Wonder at the incredible potential of this technology and caution about the need to use it wisely and ethically.
It's an exciting time to be alive.
Yeah.
To witness the birth of a technology that has the potential to reshape our world in ways we can only begin to imagine.
It really is. Well, thanks for joining us on this journey into the quantum realm.
It's been a pleasure.
We hope you've gained a deeper understanding of this fascinating and rapidly evolving field.
I hope so.
And remember, the future of quantum computing is not preordained. It's something we create together through our choices and actions.
Right.
So stay curious, stay informed, and stay engaged in the conversation. The quantum future is in our hands.
Absolutely. Well said.
Thanks for listening to The Deep Dive. We'll see you next time for another exploration of a topic that's shaping our world.